You know that feeling, that sudden wave of anxiety that just hits you out of nowhere? Your heart starts racing, you get that awful sense of dread. It is so frustrating, and it can really make you feel like you have no control. But what if the trigger isn't what you think it is? What if it's not some deep psychological thing, but something physical? So let's really dig into that question. Because for a whole lot of people, the real root of that sudden panic might have way more to do with what you just ate than what's on your mind. Yeah, if these symptoms look familiar, trust me, you are not alone. This is the classic textbook signature of anxiety. But what's wild is that these exact same feelings can be kicked off by a biological process that most of us completely overlook. We're going to call this process the blood sugar roller coaster, and it's the perfect way to think about what's happening inside your body and how it might be secretly fueling those anxious feelings you're having. Okay, so the official medical term for this is reactive hypoglycemia. The most important word there is reactive. This isn't about being starved for food. This actually happens a few hours after you've eaten, and that's exactly why it's so sneaky and confusing. All right, let's break down how this roller coaster actually works. So first, you eat something with a lot of simple carbs, maybe some cereal, a bagel, or a sugary drink. Step 2, your blood sugar skyrockets. In response, your body releases insulin to handle all that sugar, but sometimes it just overcorrects. It sends out way too much, and that causes your blood sugar not just to go down, but to crash way below normal. Your body, of course, panics. It thinks it's an emergency, and it unleashes a flood of stress hormones. And boom, that's step 6. All those physical symptoms of anxiety suddenly show up. And we are not talking about a mild little reaction here. Your body is launching a full-on chemical emergency. It's not just a feeling, it's a powerful physiological event that feels, for all intents and purposes, exactly like a panic attack. Okay, so let's connect those last few dots. Why on earth does a blood sugar crash feel so much like a moment of pure panic? Well, it all comes down to our hormones. So think about it from your brain's perspective. Its main fuel source, glucose, is suddenly gone. It perceives a legitimate fuel crisis, and it hits the big red panic button. It floods your system with adrenaline and cortisol, which, by the way, are the exact same hormones that fuel your body's fight or flight response. Just look at this chart for a second. The overlap is honestly incredible. Racing heart, check. Shakiness, check. That horrible feeling of dread, check and check. I mean, the list just goes on. The two experiences are pretty much identical. This is that big aha moment. Your body can't tell the difference between a real external threat and an internal fuel emergency. To your nervous system, panic is just panic. All right, so the big question is, how can you figure out if this is actually what's going on with you? Well, it turns out it's all about looking for some very specific patterns. And the single biggest clue is timing. Does your anxiety seem to show up like clockwork, maybe 2 to 4 hours after you eat? And then, does it almost magically vanish about 10 minutes after you have a snack? Or, and this is a big one, do you ever jolt awake around 3 or 4 in the morning with your heart just pounding out of your chest? That's a classic sign of an overnight blood sugar crash. These aren't random, they're clues. And beyond the clock, you just have to listen to your body. Is that anxiety paired with physical shakiness or a sudden intense craving for something sweet? You know, that feeling we all call hangry? And maybe the biggest tell of all is feeling dramatically, instantly better right after you eat, almost like a switch was flipped. Now, here is the really great news. If this is the source of your anxiety, you are not powerless here, not even close. You can get off this roller coaster, and it all starts with a few really simple but powerful changes. So the whole foundation is this: rebuild every single meal and snack around what I like to call the big 3: protein, healthy fat, and fiber. These 3 work together as a team to slow down how quickly sugar hits your bloodstream. So no massive spike means no horrible crash. It really is that simple. And here's what that looks like in real life. So instead of cereal in the morning, which is basically just pure, fast-acting carbs, try having eggs with some avocado. Right there, you've added protein and fat to keep things stable. Instead of a plain bagel with jam, add a big smear of almond butter. Swap that sugary granola bar for an apple with a handful of nuts. See the pattern? You're just giving the carbs a buffer every single time. Look, if you remember just one thing from all of this, please make it this right here. Never eat carbs alone. always, always pair them with a friend, a little protein or a little fat. This one single rule can be an absolute game changer. I'm serious. And a few other habits can really help lock this in. Eating at regular times, always starting your day with a protein-packed breakfast, having your coffee with your food instead of on an empty stomach, even just taking a quick walk after a meal can do wonders for keeping your blood sugar nice and stable. And maybe the best part of all, the results can be fast, like really fast. A lot of people who make these changes report a huge drop in their anxiety in as little as 1 week. This doesn't have to be some long, drawn-out battle. It's just about giving your body the right fuel to feel calm and steady. So the next time that wave of anxiety starts to creep in, just pause for a second. Ask yourself, what did I last eat and when? Your body is constantly sending you signals. Maybe it's time we started to listen.
I stopped trying to find a doctor who would listen, and I did this instead. For years, I was doing everything right. Eating clean, exercising, getting 8 hours of sleep, but I was still exhausted. I had constant brain fog, and my hormones felt completely out of whack. Every doctor told me my labs were normal, and it was probably just stress. I was about to give up until I found Holistic Health. It's a free AI wellness tool trained by functional medicine experts. I spent 5 minutes answering questions about everything: my symptoms, my sleep, my digestion, and it built me this. And this was the light bulb moment. It didn't just give me a list of problems, it connected the dots. It showed me how my gut health was likely impacting my hormones and how that was causing the fatigue and the brain fog. It even gave me a clear list of potential root causes, supplements to research, and even the specific lab tests to ask for. Its tip is secure. Over 77,000 people have used it, and it's 100% free to get your blueprint. If you feel like you're not being heard, start here. Understand your body first and then decide your next step.